This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Good evening. More than 500,000 people will be chowing down at the rib cook-off during the week-long event, and you can bet a lot of local businesses are bringing home the bacon thanks to this major event. Amanda Ketchledge is live in the newsroom now with more on how this event really is an economic driver for our region. Amanda?
All right, 24 rib cookers from Australia, California, and New Jersey, like Butch's Barbecue, come from all over to show their homemade recipes.
We smoke with New Jersey hickory that we grow on our own property back at home.
It's their 12th year at the Rib Cook-Off, and this year more people are lining up in front of their booth than ever before.
I've seen a really big difference in business. Crowds feel a lot thicker. People seem generally happy to be here. It's all around a good time.
500,000 people come for the food, music, and crafts lined along 5 blocks of Victorian Square in Sparks. It's a mix of both locals and tourists adding to this economic impact. And when the nugget sells out, tourists stay elsewhere in the area.
If they can't stay here, they'll go elsewhere, and they're coming in. So we hear from other places. Actually, some of the other hotels will bring guests over here. That sometimes they'll bus them in.
The Rib Cook-Off brings in the people, but they also visit other places around town.
If you get a little bit out of the epicenter, you know, right here on Victorian Square, even just a mile out, you'll see all of the stores, a lot of the convenience stores and the grocery stores, people just packing those.
Michelle Felix and her family came in from California specifically for this barbecue event, but they also are checking out a couple other spots.
You know, kind of since we've been here for the 4 years now, the local spots. We've been to Buffalo Wild Wings for their happy hour, and hotel we stay there all the time. Yeah, we've been gambling and won a little bit here and there.
And organizers hope that tourists won't just grab some ribs, but they'll also visit the other entertainment and sightseeing in the area. Covering Rib Cook-Off 2015, Amanda Ketchledge, Channel 2 News.
In Crime Beat now, Reno police are investigating a stabbing at an apartment complex this afternoon. It happened around 2:30 at a complex on Neal Road, near where it intersects with Peckham Lane, just east of I-580. Now, police say one person was hospitalized with a stab wound to the chest, but that person was conscious, and the injuries are not life-threatening. If you know anything that can help investigators, call Secret Witness at 322-4900 or text your tip to 847-411. Well, the Washoe County Sheriff's Office has released video of the suspects believed to be involved in a rash of church vandalisms in Incline Village. Now, the suspect is described as a tall, thin man, possibly white, and dressed in a dark-colored apron and wearing goggles. Yesterday, parishioners of Incline Village churches announced they are offering a $6,500 reward for information leading to an arrest. That's in addition to a $1,000 reward from Secret Witness and a $5,000 reward from the FBI. If you know who he is, call the Washoe County Detective Division at 328-3320. Carson City Sheriff's detectives say they've received some leads since we started reporting threats against a Carson City Justice of the Peace, but they still need more help. Now, they're asking you to take a good look at both of these surveillance videos. Now, Sheriff Ken Furlong believes the person in this video also drives a car you're going to see in just a moment, this car here. Now, he believes that person fired shots at Judge John Tatro's home in 2012, then sent this chilling Christmas card last year and planted a firebomb at his house in May. Investigators think he lives in or has ties to the Reno area. A Secret Witness is offering a $2,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. In Health Watch tonight, the Washoe County Health District is warning the public about a certain brand of cucumber that has led to a multi-state outbreak of salmonella. Now, cucumbers coming from Andrew and Williamson Fresh Produce, which are imported from Mexico, are considered the likely source of this outbreak. And nationwide, 285 people have been infected this summer, including 3 adults in Washoe County. Now, one was hospitalized for 3 days. Now, here's a photo of the cucumbers that have been recalled, the limited edition pole-grown cucumbers. The company has recalled the cucumbers, but restaurants and stores may still have them. Well, also in Health Watch, El Dorado County health officials say a squirrel that was found dead in South Lake Tahoe has tested positive for plague. Now, the animal was found at the Kiva picnic area next to the Talac Historic Site back on August 17th and was sent to a California lab for testing. The results were confirmed on Wednesday. Now, warning signs have been posted in the area, and residents are advised to report any dead animals they see. Now, symptoms of plague include fever, nausea, weakness, and swollen lymph nodes. Now, the disease can be treated with antibiotics, though, if it's caught early. Looking around the world now, late today, Austria's chancellor said his country and Germany will allow migrants to enter their territory. But on the route through Hungary, police have been forcing them off of trains and into camps. Now, frustrated, tired, and hungry, hundreds took off walking, and Charlie D'Agata went with them.
Worn out but defiant, they mustered what energy they had left and set off on a 300-mile trek to Germany. Thousands of migrants have been stranded for weeks at Budapest rail station, blocked from leaving the country. Today, they chose to walk rather than spend another night in Hungary. At times, the line was more than a half-mile long. The 90-degree heat soon took its toll.
There is no other way. We stay in Budapest for 8 days. No train, no taxi, no anything.
And they're determined not to be forced into camps like this one on the Serbian border, where today migrants fought Hungarian police to break free. We're on the main highway leading to the Austrian border, and here you see migrants who have bedded down for the night. But over there are some buses the Hungarian government is providing, they say, to take the migrants to the border. But they're so worried they've asked us to photograph them getting on those buses in case they're taken to refugee camps instead. Charlie D'Agata, CBS News, Zsambe, Hungary.
Well, the winds are still blowing at a pretty good clip up on top of the mountains, but they've calmed down here in the valley quite a bit. We don't have a red flag fire warning anymore, but we do have a real chance of a freeze by Sunday morning. Details next.
Now, here's Chief Meteorologist Mike Alger's Pinpoint 2 forecast, broadcast certified by the American Meteorological Society.
We didn't even have a whole lot of cloud cover today as this cold front pushed through the area. It is already cooling us off fairly quickly. It certainly kicked up strong winds, blowing dust. I was kind of monitoring some of what was happening up in the Black Rock Desert there for the burners, and well, I'll tell you, it was not a pretty sight. They were whited out several times. Things should be better. The only clouds we had for about 10 minutes here as I was pointing the camera to the north. So you can still see a lot of wind blowing on our time warp here over the course of about an hour and a half. But well, I'll tell you, very, very dry air out there. And that was one of the reasons, along with the high winds, that they did have that red flag fire warning that has since expired. 56 degrees. A lot of nights here over the last couple of weeks, we never even got down to 56, but that's our present temperature. Humidity is only 22%. Dew points are still in the teens, so our air is extremely dry. Barometric pressure has been rising pretty much since the middle of the afternoon after the cold front passed on by. And our winds, this is almost calm compared to earlier, out of the west at about 9 miles per hour. High of 77 degrees and a low of 51 degrees. Today we were 9 degrees below average. Yesterday, of course, we were at 80. We're going to be probably down another 7 degrees colder tomorrow. And our low of 51, we're going to be significantly cooler than that tonight. It is still possible tonight if you are in a very cold microclimate, now with our winds dying down and the skies clear, that you may see some isolated frost. It's a much better chance tomorrow night pretty much all across the west. Here's the low. You can see it dip down, almost got into Northern California. This thing's starting to kick off further now to the east, and as it does so, what's going to happen is that it is going to start to certainly bring us that northerly flow, a clear, dry one coming down here. So by tomorrow afternoon, the whole state will be clear. It'll definitely be cool. Tomorrow night, with clear skies and fairly light winds, we are going to see probably some ground frost at the very least by the time we get on into Sunday morning. So Saturday night, cover up any tomatoes and other things that are sensitive to freezes. Temperature-wise, 60s and 70s is all the warmer we're going to get tomorrow in the south. Same in the north here. You might see a 70 in Fallon, Dayton, maybe Battle Mountain and Eureka. Everybody else stuck up in the mid to upper 60s. Reno tonight, 46 for our low, 70 for our high, 69 is all the warmer we'll get in Carson City, and temperatures somewhere in the mid to lower 60s at Lake Tahoe. Here's what you can expect to see in your neighborhoods here. Again, overnight lows tonight. Anything that gets down into the low 40s and the real cold microclimates, ground temperatures could be 10 degrees colder than that. High temperatures then tomorrow somewhere in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Tahoe then mostly sunny tomorrow. Could see a couple of clouds in the morning, a high of 63, not as much wind. Same story in Reno. We'll look for a few morning clouds, sunny in the afternoon. Our high tomorrow only 70, but then look how quickly it turns around. We'll look for temperatures almost 80 by Sunday, mid 80s by Monday, and then we're going to probably climb back into the 90s here by the time we get to this time next week, warming up very quickly. So this is a cold shot, but just a reminder, fall is just around the corner.
Yeah, don't forget, you know, there's always a little bit of summer left over. We squeeze it out in September.
Like I say, just dress warm in the morning.
All right, everyone, enjoy the ribs this weekend. That is
Absolutely.
it for the news tonight, but Inside the Two is right after the break. We'll see you on Monday.
Right.
Thanks for watching Channel.
The Douglas game?
I think. That was a long time ago.
I have the read.
Yep. Internal clock.
Yeah.
Did you respond or did you just laugh? I just laughed. That's good stuff. Thank you. It was pretty funny though. It was a funny comment. Oh yeah. His topped it. Just it was like
Dude, stop handing me scripts.
You need
I
your
don't
Twitter
want any
scripts.
more. Hey, welcome to Inside the Two alongside Dallas Kolodny and Paul Nelson. I'm the banged one, Garrett Dearborn, and we have to get you to tweet.
Please.
Yes, hashtag Inside the Two is where you want to send your thoughts on tonight's action or whatever. We'll put it on the show if you keep it clean. Yep.
I did. I kept it clean, and it's on the show.
Well, that's good because you probably get fired otherwise.
That's a fair point.
Just saying.
Very fair point.
Yeah, we have some action to talk about, though.
That's right. Reed and Damani Ranch. There was a good one down in South Reno. A good old-fashioned shootout and an artistic shot. First play of the second half. Mustangs down 21, but they're thinking comeback.
Dearborn special.
Old-fashioned is always better.
Robert Garlock around the end, and then a little cutback here, and he's into the end zone. 42-27 Raiders, though, still with the lead. Later in the third, same score, more from D-Ranch. Near the goal line, freshman QB Cade McNamara finds Elijah Sapico for 6. So here comes the Mustangs, but Reed isn't four-time defending Division I North champs for nothing. Trey Bussey up the middle, delivering the stiff arm before jogging in. 51-33 Raiders. The Mustangs would score to make it 51-39. They get the ball back, but the Reed defense makes a stand. Nick Gregg with the sack. He's verbally committed to Nevada, and that makes that guy pretty happy, Brian Polian.
He's not smiling, though.
But he was happy.
Okay.
And then Reed with the dagger. Jordan Carter up the middle, breaks the tackle, and he's in. Raiders hold off the Mustangs, winning 58-39. I think we had the over in that one.
Carson taking on McQueen. Cheerleaders handing out those new gold Inside the Two footballs up at McQueen High School early in the first quarter. They really are. Carson's starting off strong. This is Joe Nelson, probably the best name in football. He connects with Asa Carter. This puts the Senators up 7-0. McQueen looking to get something going here. They're going to put it in the air and connect with Tyler Hutton for the first, but they don't do anything with this, though. After a drive down the field, this one's going to end up in the hands of Asa Carter. He goes easily into the end zone. Senators go up 14. Doesn't this look familiar? Carson in the red zone. Again, Elijah Fajayan pushes his way just over the line into the end zone. Carson comes away with the win in this one, 59-14.
Well, speaking of the little footballs, the Galena Cheerleaders, they also tossed them out as the Grizzlies hosted the Huskies. This one, a defensive struggle. Galena quarterback Quentin Mills rolls to his right, but nobody there. Expect Brandon Cahill, and he plays for Reno. Mills runs away and falls down. Cahill gets credit for the sack. Huskies get the ball. Isaac Terrasis, the swing pass to Cameron Doherty, and he heads up the field. And then watch this, the stiff arm. That's with authority.
Beastie.
To the end zone for 6. 9-0 Reno. Galena's defense trying to make some plays as well. Terrasis to Denny Peters. Travis Bohall brings the lumber and jars the ball loose. Grizz recover. They move the field goal range at the end of the half, but the kick no good. The Grizz get shut out. Reno wins 9-0.
Battle of the Cats. Douglas Tigers welcome the North Valley Panthers because they're the Panthers from North Valleys. Second half, Douglas down 2. Touchdowns, looking for a comeback. Bryce James back to pass, breaks one tackle, and then avoids the sack, and then takes off, breaking arm tackles, takes it 32 yards for the score.
Breathe.
Tigers miss the extra point. The Panthers lead 28-20. Same score now in the fourth. Panthers backed up. Anthony Friend looking to punt out of his own end zone, but after the bad snap, he takes off with it, but they'd be forced to kick. After a Douglas possession leads to nothing, Tigers need a stop to stay alive. Alex Frazier puts a nail in the coffin here, takes the handoff outside. It's ruled a first and goal. He would later find a hole and punch it in. 2 plays later, North Valleys gets the win over Douglas, 35-27.
A little bit farther north, the Minogue Band was very quiet tonight, or else somebody forgot their drums. Taking on Spanish Springs. Starting you off in the second half, Spanish Springs up 14-0. This was a game of defense. Liam Stevens here breaking up this pass for the Miners. Minogue will return the favor a few series later. Johnny Cavilla bursting through the line of scrimmage for the sack. But the Miner defense wouldn't be enough. Check out Travis Vargas. He bolts down the right sideline and almost to the end zone. He'll get taken down inside the 2. That's no problem, though.
Right there.
Vargas with the ball again and takes this one into the end zone to put the Cougs up by 20. And that's how things will stay. Spanish Springs wins this one 20-0.
All right, real quick, we've been talking about these little neat footballs. They are pretty sweet. If we can get a close-up of this and check it out,
Our
We're
hashtags
giving these
on
out.
it.
Yeah,
They come
hashtag
from the
inside
golden
the
football
two.
goose.
See, it's a little foam thing. A golden football goose. Anyway, we're handing these out at the high school football game. So if you're out at one, look out for the cheerleaders. They're generally going to be tossing these ones out to the crowd. Now, don't you go anywhere. We still have a whole bunch more high school football to talk about. We're going to check in with Zach Mooney and Mike Rogers coming up after the break.
No golden football goose.
Weren't we in Douglas?
Mic check 1 2. Check check. Mic check. Mic check.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9.
And welcome back to Inside the Two alongside Paul and Dallas. I'm Garrett. We have a couple other fellas that are a part of our crew, and that means it's time to check in with our very own Zach Mooney and Mike Rogers with a little Division 1A action. Guys, what you got?
Thanks, Garrett. We, and by we I really mean Zach and Paul, got to take the trip to Dayton and South Tahoe tonight, where the Vikings were hosting the Spring Creek Spartans. Dust Devils hosting the Sparks Railroaders. We'll start things off there. Two teams looking for their very first win this season. Dust Devils punted early on, and Nick Van Patten comes up big for the Railroaders, who return the punt 53 yards before he gets taken down at the 9-yard line right about here. He's going to get rewarded, though, don't you worry. On the next play, he takes the handoff to the right side and scoots in for the 9-yard touchdown. Sparks is going to go up after this, 7-0. Next drive down now for Sparks. Rod Poy follows the big men straight up the middle. He's going to take this one in for a 15-yard touchdown. Second quarter now. Sparks up 21-0, and they're going to add to it here. Silas Sanchez goes up top. John Aguiano comes down with it in the back of the end zone. That's a 27-yard touchdown. Rail Raiders absolutely dominating this one, 48-0.
All right, Spring Creek drove across the state and then up a mountain to take on the South Tahoe Vikings. So the Vikings looking to attack early. Here's Tommy Cephalou. He's going to get the snap, rolls out, and he shows some nice touch here with the pass. Gets it to Darren Jackson, who gets it down inside the 10, but the Vikings give up the ball on the very next play. So Spartans would drive down the field, and they cap it off with a nice touchdown run here. So they are up 6-0 after they fail to convert the 2-point try. So with time winding down here in the first, Spring Creek looking to add, or down one just, and looking to take the lead, but Noah Jackson says not tonight. Gets the pick, ends the drive there. So same score here just before the half. Spartans want an easy touchdown here. No way, they get a fumble. Zen Constable scoops it up. Once he gets out of the crowd, he turns on the Jets with a little computer action, and Vikings go up a touchdown. It's not enough, though. Spring Creek wins this one 33-27.
That guy should be a track star.
Right? He's a speedy guy. So wraps up our highlights here from the Division I. We got plenty more football to bring you. So for Mike Rogers, I'm Zach Mooney. Guys, we'll send it back to you, Garrett, for some Division III action.
All right, thanks, fellas. But of course, yeah, like you were saying, we're not done with high school football. Dallas?
Yeah, I was also up at the lake, more specifically Incline Village, as they hosted Bernie from California. And the Highlanders wasted no time giving us highlights. Opening kickoff, Owen Graffis emerging from the mess and down the sidelines. And he goes to a place that children are calling the house these days, 6-0 Incline. And then the defense steps up on a 3rd and long for Bernie. Kelsey Philpott comes up with the interception. He also plays a little quarterback, so that's called helping your own cause in a way. And that leads to this. From just a couple yards out, it's Graffis again, finding the end zone again. The Highlanders grab their first win of the year, 35-2.
That's pretty sweet. You only had to be there like 5 minutes, I think.
Might have even been less.
Yeah. And of course, we always appreciate the scores reported. And Urington reports it knocked off Bishop, California 44-6. Fernley beats Lowry 29-6. And Churchill County topped Truckee 28-14. And Wooster took the trip to Elko and got shut out by the Indians 42-0.
I think that's a very good trip.
Yeah, long trip home.
Yeah, bus ride too.
Yeah.
Rough. Don't you go anywhere. We still have to check in on the Aces. May talk a little Wolfpack football. Stick around.
Thanks for watching Channel
And welcome back to Inside the Two. This is kind of a neat little thing. You guys have your pens. I have this little football. Final homestand for the Reno Aces. Final games of the year, Paul.
Yeah, taking on Padres affiliate.
You have a lead there that you're
Albuquerque.
supposed to read.
Oh, I had no idea I even had that.
They have a
But
pretty
thanks.
cool
You do what you want, though.
All right, well, let's just get to the highlights. Reno Aces hosting
saying.
Padres affiliate Albuquerque Chihuahuas, also
El
known
Paso.
as Oh, that's right. El Paso, sorry. Aces up 5-4 in
They're
the
all in
seventh.
the Southwest.
Peter O'Brien at the plate, and he takes this pitch the other way. This one burns Hunter Renfro. O'Brien winds up with a double. The Chihuahuas intentionally walked Michael Freeman to load the bases, and then, oops, Gary Sullivan walks Danny Worth to give the Aces a 2-run lead. They hold on and win it 6-5.
See, Paul, that's why you need to stick to scripts.
Well, how about the
Just saying.
Wolfpack volleyball team? They were in action at the Portland Classic tonight, and well, the ladies lose to Portland 3-1. They'll take on Portland State tomorrow. Also, don't want to forget about the ladies soccer team. A goal in the 102nd minute of play Friday afternoon allowed UC Irvine to sneak past Nevada 1-0 in a neutral site contest at St. Mary's. The Pack will take on the Gales on Sunday.
Well, the Wolfpack football team is now 1-0 to start the season after last night's 31-17 win over UC Davis. Senior running back Don Jackson looked pretty darn good. Here's one of his better runs. Jackson had 13 rushes for 124 yards and 2 scores on the night. And the Pack run game was working. The Silver and Blue tallied 232 yards on the ground, 395 yards of total offense. And newly named starter Tyler Stewart looked poised in the pocket, had a solid night as well. Stewart was 13 of 20 for $163 and a score, and 43 yards rushing and a score. And you know what? Head coach Brian Polian, he was impressed.
I thought he took care of the football, made good decisions in the run game. Thought he passed it efficiently. We dropped 1 or 2 balls on him. And I thought the 2 decisions to pull the ball down when we were in drop back pass protection and a running lane open, I was very pleased with both of those. That is a sign of progress.
Yeah, next up, the Pack gets Arizona September 12th. The 22nd ranked Wildcats beat UT San Antonio by just 10 points last night. But guys, guess what? They lost one of the best defensive players in the country potentially for a little bit. Scooby Wright knocked out of this one with a knee injury. No idea on the severity of that just yet, but that one all set to go September 12th at Mackey Stadium.
Well, how about a local girl making some waves? Carson City Sage
Donnelly
has advanced to the finals of the World Freestyle Kayak Championships up in Ottawa, Canada, after placing first in the junior women's semifinals this morning. Sage, who's a U.S. junior national champ, scored 185 points, 100 points more than her nearest competitor. The finals will take place tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. on the Ottawa River.
Wow. A lot more water in that river than we've got here.
Yeah, I don't think they have a drought.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Don't you go anywhere. We still have plays of the night coming up after the break, and who knows what he's going to do.
Thanks for watching Channel 2 News. The live stream will be back in just a moment.
Time for plays of the night.
Yeah, let's start things off. Douglas taking on North Valley's Tigers down 2 touchdowns, looking for the comeback. Bryce James, back to pass, gets into trouble, breaks 1 tackle in the backfield to avoid the sack and takes off, breaking arm tackles left and right and takes it 32 yards for the score, but North Valley's wins it 35-27.
Reading the Monty Ranch, this one we didn't show you, shootout. Caden McNamara to Cameron Sandoval makes a nice diving catch, but it's Reed who wins 58-39.
Sparks at Dayton, second quarter. Sparks already with a 3 touchdown lead. Silas Sanchez looks deep to the end zone. John Anguiano comes down with it for the 27-yard score.
How about the Huskies getting the ball here? Isaac Terraces with the swing pass to Cameron Dougherty. He heads upfield and then watch the stiff arm. He takes it in. Reno, 9-0. Right?
And that wraps up another edition of Inside the Two. Thank you for checking us out today. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Check us out next week. You know why? Because you never know what Nelson's going to say.
I get a football.